Hey everybody, welcome back to the Perfect Place to Put a Practice podcast. I'm your host, Mike Green from Dr. Demographic, and today we're diving into something that I'm genuinely quite excited about, and that is the 5 southern states that are trending the strongest economically for healthcare providers heading into 2027. Now, the South has been on fire lately. Families, professionals, retirees, all moving there in droves, drawn by affordable living, job growth, business-friendly environments. And where do people go for when they move to these states? All of these providers are needed afterwards. So you dentists, you veterinarians, you audiologists, you're needed in a huge way to follow where that population growth is going. So if you're thinking about launching a new practice in 2027, you're absolutely going to want to hear this. But first, a quick word from our sponsor, today's sponsor for the podcast. And I'll be honest with you, this one hits pretty close to home for me. Today's episode is brought to you by Apex AI Labs. Now, Apex AI Labs is actually powered by Dr. Demographics and our world-class data, so I can speak to this firsthand. And here's what makes them different from every other SEO service out there. They're the only one that I know of in the whole world, frankly, that combines real-time demographic and psychographic data to build SEO strategies and AEO strategies specifically for their clients. But honestly, the SEO piece isn't even the most exciting part about what they're doing. Here's what you need to understand. For a long time, if someone wanted something, a restaurant, a doctor, a dentist, they went to Google. That's just the way that it worked. But that's changing, and it's changing fast. People are now going to ChatGPT. They're going to Grok. They're going to these other AI platforms and just asking, where should I eat tonight? Or what should I do this weekend? And yes, who's the best dentist near me? And where should I take my kid for pediatric dental care? We're seeing a massive uptick in these kind of searches. And here's the thing, if your practice isn't optimized to show up as the recommended answer in these AI responses, you're losing patients right now. Not someday in the future. You're losing them right now. Apex AI Labs takes your demographic data, the same data that we've built Dr. Demographics on, and uses it to optimize your website and your entire online presence so that these AI engines are recommending you and your practice. We're genuinely at the forefront of this shift. And in a world moving this fast, if you're not at the front, you're already behind. So if you don't want to get left behind, head over to apexailabs.ai. That's apexailabs.ai, or just shoot me an email directly, mike@drdemographics.com, and I'll personally make sure that you are taken care of. Again, that if you want to find out more information, that's apexailabs.ai. All right, let's get into it. The top 5 southern states for practice placement in 2027. So number 5, Georgia. I love Georgia. I've talked about Georgia for a long time. Georgia is a solid, steady performer, and it deserves a spot on the top 5 list. Absolutely. The state has been and seen consistent population growth, especially in and around Atlanta and its suburbs. You've heard me talk about this. I've been talking about this really since 2020. The economy there is really diversified now. Logistics, film production, tech, and all these new residents are pouring in because of those jobs that are being created in Georgia. So why does that work for you as, let's say, if you're a dentist? Well, here's a few reasons. The cost of living is much lower than coastal states. The dentist to population ratio is still very favorable in a lot of those suburban and rural areas. And if you've got strong demand for families and young professionals who need care and they're not yet attached to a provider, Atlanta's metro gives you big urban opportunity, but don't sleep on places like Savannah and Augusta. Again, lower competition, loyal patient base, strong community feel. Those are great options as well. If you're targeting Georgia, look at those northern suburbs first of Atlanta for the family-focused type practice. That's where a lot of the growth is happening. Think about specialties like pediatric or cosmetic dentistry, or or something specific, like if you're an audiologist, that's going to work really well because there's so many retirees in that area, and it will differentiate yourself from the fray that we talk about so often, the commoditized problem that it is with healthcare marketing. Visibility really matters in these competitive spots, so make sure that you're hitting everything quickly and fast. So number 4, South Carolina. South Carolina has been one of the fastest growing states in the country, and it's become a real rising star for practice placement. Charleston, Greenville, Myrtle Beach, these all are cities that are booming right now. Interestingly enough, they're booming with retirees, they're booming with young families, they're booming with professionals that are relocating for lifestyle and affordability. So what makes that excellent? The cool thing about South Carolina is it's really pro-business. The policies are very pro-business. New housing developments are popping up everywhere, and in some brackets, there's no state income tax on certain earnings. So coastal areas attract seasonal residents who demand care, while a lot of inland communities give you steady year-round demand. And there's still genuinely underserved areas with excellent opportunity. If you're looking at more of a rural opportunity, South Carolina is a great option. Net domestic migration there has been exceptional. The dental needs specifically have been really high among the growing middle class and retirees looking for some more comprehensive care. And with the lower overhead costs, mean you're going to get into profitability quicker in a lot of these markets than you would in some of the other states in this sector. So, as far as strategy goes, consider Charleston if you want to offer premium services. Myrtle Beach gives you a really mixed demographic that can support a general practice as well. Just make sure that you're running those numbers with us. Build relationships with those local real estate agents and Chamber of Commerce early. Invest in digital marketing that highlights your modern, patient-friendly practice, and obviously use Apex AI Labs to make sure that your marketing and your SEO and your AEO is hitting the numbers and the demographics for that area. Okay, let's stay in the Carolinas. So number 3, North Carolina. North Carolina consistently ranks near the top of both business climate and population growth, and it earns its spot there. Honestly, the Research Triangle, so Raleigh, Durham, Charlotte, are absolute magnets for educated professionals right now. Meanwhile, the coastal and mountain areas are drawing retirees who need ongoing dental care and hearing care and overall health care. So what makes it stand out in diversity for the economies? So tech, finance, education, all driving a lot of in-migration. There are real incentives available for practices setting up in the growing and the underserved regions. So again, if you're looking for more of a rural practice, a little bit slower pace, North Carolina might be one of your best options in the country. You've got an awesome urban-rural mix that gives you flexibility of how you want to build your practice. North Carolina consistently leads the Southeast in job creation. Demographics are genuinely favorable. Young families in the cities, aging populations outside of them. Population growth is supporting steady patient acquisitions without really extreme saturation that you're seeing in a lot of other markets when it comes to competition. So if we had to choose a couple areas, the suburbs of Raleigh or Charlotte are excellent if you want those high income patients. There's a lot of smaller cities that can give you lower competition if that's what you're after, and certainly exposure. Again, those smaller cities are going to be able to make your brand shine because you might be the only provider in the area. Excellent move would be to move to North Carolina. All right, number 2. Let's talk about one of the two big daddies. Number 2 is Florida. Florida, no state income tax, warm weather, a continuous stream of people relocating from the Northeast and the Midwest. It's a powerhouse, and frankly, it's not slowing down. Some metrics have cooled a little bit, but Orlando, Tampa, Jacksonville, and Panhandle all show robust opportunity leading into 2027. So why is it so strong? I get asked that all the time. it's really interesting there, and it's not like any other place in the country because you've got a massive retiree population that has a lot of needs and ongoing healthcare services that are really important to their lifestyle. You've got suburban family growth. You've got tourism and seasonal residents that create a lot of additional demand, that a lot of markets that they just don't have that. And combined with that, the regulatory environment in many counties is genuinely one of the best business-friendly areas in the country. Florida often leads the nation in domestic migration. The demographic mix, retirees, families, seasonal residents, supports general, cosmetic, specialty practices. Insurance utilization tends to be really high in Florida as residents are maximizing their benefits, which helps with cash flow predictability for your practice. So if you're targeting an area in Florida, specifically Central or North Florida, tends to offer a better balance of growth without the cost and saturation of South Florida. Prepare for some seasonal fluctuations, obviously. When you're in Florida, build flexibility into your schedule to make sure you're accommodating that fluctuation that you're going to see in residents in many parts of Florida. Really lean into emergency and cosmetic services. Those are huge differentiators for Florida, and they always tend to perform well in those markets. All right. Okay, number one, probably not a huge surprise here, Texas. Texas tops the list in 2027. And frankly, it's not particularly close. No state income tax, explosive population growth, booming economy, Houston, Dallas-Fort Worth, Austin, San Antonio, all on a massive scale. Smaller cities across the state offer faster market entry with lower competition. Texas is just built for new practice growth right now. It just is. Why does it excel? Rapid migration from high-cost states, relentless job creation in energy, tech, healthcare, and a young, diverse population. See my other episodes on Houston. See my other episodes on Dallas-Fort Worth, on Austin. It's the perfect storm in the best way possible in Texas. And the real estate's affordable, and it's very pro-business. The policies there, that's the reason why so many businesses are moving from these high regulation states that are not particularly affordable and you're taxed to death. They always end up in Texas. Texas frequently leads the nation in net population gains. Metro areas are adding hundreds of thousands of residents. Economic forecasts support a lot of long-term growth in Texas, and it's a family-oriented culture, and it drives strong demand in both the general realm and the specialty realm. Especially pediatrics do extremely well in Texas. Target those growing suburbs around the major cities. That's where the sweet spot is. Use the demographic data that you get from Dr. Demographics and choose locations with the right patient profile for the practice that you want to build. Texas is one of those states where if you walk in with saying, this is the practice that I want to build, this is the type of patient that I want, you are going to be able to find it in Texas. At Dr. Demographics, this is exactly, obviously, what we specialize in, not just helping you pick the right state, but being in the right spot within the state. So let's wrap it up. The South is genuinely on fire for new practices heading into 2027. Lower taxes, population growth, underserved markets, real opportunities to build something that's going to last, that's going to be a legacy for you, your practice, and your family. Whichever of these states speak to you the most, success is going to come down to three things: preparation, smart marketing, and exceptional patient care. If you're serious about making a move in 2027, go to drdemographics.com, grab a telephone consultation, or look at a report like the Best Sites report. We'd love to help you find that perfect place to practice. So let's wrap. That's a wrap for today's episode. If you found this helpful, please subscribe, leave us a review on your favorite podcasting platform, share it with a colleague who is thinking about moving to the Southern states, and we'll see you next time on The Perfect Place to Put a Practice podcast.